I've heard a lot of people say that they're too old to lose weight and work out. And I'm here to clarify that you can lose weight and work out at any age. What is up, people? Jean Carlos here with the Total Body Training Podcast. And today's topic is age as an excuse. Let's get into this, because you can work out and get fit at any damn age, baby. Age ain't nothing but a number, you know what I'm saying? It's a little weird. All right, so let's get into the meat of the topic. So this is what we're talking about today. All right, so here's my first point. As we get older, our bodies do change. So like we go through hormonal changes, we do lose some muscle mass when we get into our our early 40s or something like that. I'm no scientist, but I know that you do lose that stuff as you start to get older, but just a smidge if you're taking care of yourself, just little by little, and it's no overnight thing. And something that you're gonna wanna consider too is that, for somebody who doesn't work out, let's say that somebody is new to training and stuff like that, as they get older, somebody who's never really worked out, not always, but oftentimes they find themselves getting comfortable in their older years. So it's understandable to think that old age is causing the reasons for their sudden weight gains. What am I meaning there? So, take someone or general person who's never really been the workout type, like myself. Like I wasn't a workout person. So you don't really know the benefits, or your body doesn't really recognize the benefits of doing that. Or you don't really have fun working out, so you don't gravitate towards it. And what happens is that you've always had a good metabolism, you've always been thin, and then 40 shows up and you start noticing that you're gaining weight, right? And that is because your metabolism's changing and stuff like that. People generally say, the reason I'm gaining weight is because I'm 40 now. Here's another reason why you might be gaining weight. It might be because you got comfortable. So you got older, you got the job that you've been working for a few years or whatever. Maybe you're married, so you start to get in that comfortable phase where you eat an extra helping or an extra cookie from the cookie jar or an extra slice of pizza. Not anything wrong with eating any of those foods. I'm not here to demonize them, but maybe you just got a little too comfortable and you started having a little bit too much to eat, like an extra, right? And so that might be part of the reason why in your later years you have started to put on some weight, and your metabolism doesn't work in the same way it did when you were a 20-something-year-old, if you know what I'm saying. So the engine just ain't revving that way anymore. So I want you to have some perspective here. And here is the truth. Some people see getting older or see, gaining this weight and stuff like that as a sign that they shouldn't work out. They think, working out's for younger people, and because I never worked out when I was younger, I can't do it now. And, I can't lose weight now because, right? I mean, isn't it science that old plus time, or that age plus, that old plus whatever leads to, I don't even know what I'm trying to say there, but that getting older just means you gain weight? I don't know if that's necessarily the case, especially if you look at people in countries where people try to eat healthier, in cities around the world where people try to eat healthier. Like, sure, your hormones change and stuff like that, but if you're staying on track with how you're eating, then you should be in a better situation. We'll see how I am when I get into my 40s and 50s, but I think I'll be okay. And it's because I'm already living the kind of life that lends itself towards me staying in relatively good shape. So, don't think that gaining a ton of weight or gaining a lot of weight as you get older is just a natural process or a natural part of the aging process, right? And also don't think that having a complete lack of energy is a natural part of that process too. Sometimes people think, well, I'm older, so now my bones creak, and I'm not working the same way. And it's not even people that are that much older who I've heard say this. It would be one thing if I had an 80-year-old say, oh, it's not, my body's old and I don't feel the way that I did when I was young. But a lot of times I hear it from people who are just a few years older than me. I'm 31, and I've had clients who are 35 and say, I'm not young anymore. And I'm like, okay. You're 35, you're not really that much older than me. I mean, I feel okay, right? And then there are other people who are in their 40s, and 40 is still kind of young. Sure, your body's changing, but it's still young in perspective with how long the average person in America lives nowadays, okay? So, being old or getting older doesn't mean that you should just suddenly start gaining weight, or doesn't mean, or shouldn't be an excuse for a sudden weight gain, and also shouldn't be an excuse for like suddenly lacking energy and things like that. There are things you can do, like eating better or taking care of your body, that will remedy those things, right? And so one thing that people will also say is, well, if I start trying to do exercise now because I'm older, my body's gonna collapse. Not if you're doing it well. Just keep that in mind. So if you're exercising correctly, that's not gonna happen. We'll come back to that point. But here is the truth. You can work out at any age, and in fact, you should work out. Our bodies evolved for us to move and run in the desert, right? And to run wherever, in the Sahara, wherever we evolved, okay? We evolved to hunt and gather. That's what our bodies were built for. Throwing things, picking stuff up, breaking stuff, like doing that kind of thing, okay? And that is what led to us having the bodies that we have now. And so, in order to honor these bodies, we need to do some kind of physical movement. It's a part of our evolution, it's a part of our DNA, it's a part of what makes us humans. However, nowadays, we don't do that. What we do is we on a computer all day, and I do it too. I'm doing it right now. I'm sitting here on this nice little comfy couch, right? We go to work, we sit at a computer all day, right? And then we get up and we go home and we sit in front of a TV all night, or we do something around the house, right? So we're constantly not doing so much of what our bodies evolved to do. And it's not that those things aren't amazing. I love creating videos, and I think it's great to do computer work and things like that. What we want to do is we want to make sure that we're honoring our evolution, we're honoring what our bodies are meant to do by working out, yes, at least 5 times a week, and getting some kind of physical movement every damn day of the week, because that's what our bodies are meant to do. So, don't ignore what we evolved or were created, I don't know if that's even the right way, what we evolved to do, right? You can't trump biology. It's a part of what we're supposed to do. It's like brushing your teeth. Working out is just like brushing your teeth or taking a shower. You wouldn't go a day without doing it unless you got bad habits, unless you got some yellow teeth. So just keep that in mind. That is the truth. Now, here are my tips. For the older person who is looking to work out, for the person who is up there in age and looking to work out, we're talking about people that are 35 plus or 40 plus. I know that if you're a little bit older than that, you might be getting offended by what I'm saying. Trust me, I'm not trying to be offensive, just speaking my truth. If you are older and you've never worked out and you're trying to get into it right now, or maybe you used to work out but you let it go, here are my two tips for what you should do to get back in the swing of things, or to get the swing of things going. And that is tip number 1. Start slow. Nothing happens overnight. So if you gain some weight and you've got a little bit more love that's just bothering you, or you just feel lethargic and you want to get some more energy in your life, I strongly recommend that everyone start slow. I know it ain't sexy, but it works best, especially when you're older, because yes, you could get fatigued more easily because you're older, but also mainly because you haven't kept up with the workout regimen. So don't focus so much on the being older part as much as working out hasn't been a thing in your life, and that is the reason why you're gonna have to go slow. So, go slow, pick things that are easier. So maybe you could pick like walking. If you're new to working out, you're gonna wanna pick something that's simple. Or maybe you're gonna wanna find some kind of program online. If you hop on the Total Body Training website or the Facebook or the YouTube channel, we have high intensity workouts that you can do. And we have modified things. I wouldn't recommend going full throttle. You might want to go there because you're a type A personality and you think that you have to do everything, but you don't. You can go the easy route, the beginner route, the route that honors you and where you're at right now in your fitness level. That's what I would recommend that you do. The best option would be that you find a really awesome, badass trainer. And that is tip number 2, that you find a trainer who knows how to work with any kind of population and specifically has a passion for working with people who are beginners. Because if you get a trainer who wants to take you to do some crazy workout, wants to push you to the next level, and has you doing handstands the moment that you come into his class, or trying to deadlift 500 pounds, you might get a little freaked out because you're not the fitness kind and you've never really worked out. So your body might take a beating that it doesn't need. So you're going to want to find a trainer with some experience and someone who likes to work with the general population, specifically people who are beginners, and has a reputation for building those people up. So tips again, start slow, and then number 2, get a trainer who knows how to work with populations that are beginners. And then here's a little side tip: don't compare yourself to all the young guns in the gym. So side tip, I'm just adding it in here in the last minute. You might have a tendency to start to look around and see the hot chick on the machine running or whatever, and the dude who's all, ripped, doing all the curls and stuff like that, and in the corner and benching a whole lot of weight. Don't compare yourself to them, and don't even really think too much about about age, because that is not a healthy way to think about it. It's not healthy for you to try to compare yourself to them, because yeah, sure, they're younger than you, but mostly part of the reason why they're in better shape might be because they're actually doing the thing that you're not doing, which is doing the fitness thing. They're actually putting their work into it, and that might be part of the reason why they're in the kind of shape that they're in. So don't just look at them and be like, fuck you, you're younger than me and that's why it's easier for you, right? Don't please don't, or don't compare yourself or feel like you should be like them, because after all, you didn't live the same kind of life. Just let that go and just be a person who is a new beginner. Sure, you're older, but you're a beginner, and that's a-okay. All right, people, thank you so much for tuning in to the Total Body Training Podcast. Until next time, peace.